What the fuck is going on? Seriously, what is happening? The title of this video, I have no idea what it could be. Could be that the Ronaldo situation is weird, Ronaldo is weird, or that is Ronaldo's legacy ruined. And all of them are quite valid things to say, and quite valid questions. This is potentially one of the biggest, scandals in recent football history. The greatest footballer, or one of the greatest footballers, okay, I must say, of all time, doing an interview, throwing his manager under the bus, the owners of his football club under the bus, some for good reasons, some for wrong reasons, and we could talk about that. Ronaldo just completely said, "F you then." There's no way in hell that he's coming back to Manchester United after the World Cup, which I think he knows that, hence why he's waited until the break has come to release this interview. This interview could have been done a month ago for all we know. And they were waiting for the right time that he goes away on an international break, and then this drop. He doesn't have to go back to the stadium. He doesn't have to go back to the training ground and have those kind of awkward conversations. He's just going to go do his thing for Portugal now. Cheapest and most reliable coins on FIFA 23. Then go down below to use them and buy. Top link in description, and make sure to use code Vizeh for 5% off. So my question for you is Ronaldo right? Is Ronaldo right to feel like he has been treated unfairly? Is Ronaldo right to feel like the club has not made any steps in the right direction? Is Ronaldo right to feel like the manager and the media has been unfair to him? And these are all questions that I can ask you right now, and feel free and you tell me down below in the comments. And when I think about it, on a truly personal level, like take the kind of greatness, take the aura out of Cristiano Ronaldo, and just take it all away and just put it down to a base level of a employee of a business or organization going at the owners, managers of the organization, going at them. If you break it down to a simple level of employee hits out at the owner and hits out at the managers of the organization, what would happen? They would get sacked. That's just how it works. When I worked at McDonald's when I was 16, 17, let's say if I made a Facebook post or Twitter post, for example, or YouTube video, for example, and just stating how much my manager has been unfair to me, that I think he's probably a bit of a dick, that I don't respect him, and that the owners, they don't care about the business, they don't care about the customers, blah, 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 then I'll get sacked within 2 minutes. And I think that's what Ronaldo ideally wants out of the situation, to not particularly be sacked, but to be basically, we've got to get this guy out of the club. If it's termination of contract, I mean, it's not like Ronaldo needs any more money, but I don't know the logistics of that. Will we get paid as his contract? Can they terminate it and nothing will happen? And if they don't do that, then what's going to happen is that they are probably going to just say, okay, you've just got to go in January, mate. And Ronaldo would get what he wants. It was quite evident back in July that he did not want to be at Manchester United. He knew that he wouldn't be the main man. He knew that he wasn't fancied by Ten Hag, and he knew that this situation was going to happen, that he's going to become a rotational bench player and player for the goddamn Europa League. The fact that Ronaldo is now a rotational player for UEFA Europa League games sounds f***ing wrong to me. But that is the reality. Age, sadly, catches up to you. And you can keep your body as good and as well maintained for your entire life. When you're 2, you can have no alcohol for your entire life. You can not smoke. You can only eat greens, and you can only have protein shakes. You can do yoga every day, and you can pray to the mountain gods and the mountains of Wyoming if you feel like. You're still going to get caught up with age. And sadly, at the age of 57, to play at a top level, there will be limitations to it. Now, of course, what makes sense is that go to a lower level club that can still get European football. For example, like a Sporting Lisbon. That feels like that would make the more sense. Go to kind of a few teams that can comfortably get Champions League football in like a bit of a smaller nation. Or can go to like a team in like France, can go to like a Marseille, for example. Of course, they've now been knocked out, but realistically, I don't think he cares about Champions League football this year. He wants to feel like he's loved. He wants to feel like he belongs. Going to a team like Napoli, for example, they're challenging for Serie A. Maybe that could be a shout for him. Realistically, other than the top 10 teams in European football, they will still happily take him as long as he takes a wage cut, and that is the main thing. If they can afford him and it doesn't completely destroy them, then I feel like most teams will still want him. The one thing that I just don't like about it is the fact that he should be an example. He should be a person that the young players, not just at Manchester United, but the entire world should look at and be like, that is a true professional. Him walking out before the full-time whistle, not just in the preseason friendly, but also only a couple of weeks ago. Okay, I think against Spurs it was, walking out before full-time and leaving a stadium. Is that being a true professional? I don't think so. I don't think that's right. And even if you're on the bench, I don't care if you're on the reserves. If you're part of the squad, you leave as part of your squad. That's just how it should be at any level of football, from Sunday league level. Like if you play Sunday league with your mate, okay, and your mate leaves at half time or something, you get subbed for half time, he just leaves, then you probably just think, bit of a dick, okay? And that's how it is. So Ronaldo going and leaving his team behind before the game even ends is the exact same concept. That's not being professional, and that's not there supporting your teammates, and that is the fact of the matter. And anyone would say the same thing if it was Ronaldo doing it, or if it was Lyndon Dykes leaving the game for a QPR game or something. I don't know, does anyone, like, people say the same thing if it's anyone, that they would say that that's unprofessional, you're not there for your mates, you're not there for your teammates. And Ten Hag, I personally think that he's been dealt a very tough hand, not just as he entered Manchester United, you know, and that alone is tough, but entering United with Ronaldo, which is already stirring the pot. And I think he's dealt with everything quite well. That would be an immense level of stress, incredible levels of stress to deal with. And I think he's done quite well considering the hand that he's been given. And his hand has been made 10 times easier. Ronaldo's done it now. Ronaldo's done the interview. The decision's already made. He's no longer part of the squad. He's no longer going to be welcome back. And if he does ever come back, then you know that's going to kick off. Ronaldo is one of the greatest of all time. I don't think this will exactly destroy his legacy, but I do believe that it would definitely taint his legacy, especially with Manchester United. And most importantly, we kind of have a bit of a sour taste in terms of what he's seen as a personality. You compare Messi and you compare Ronaldo, you know, you can always look at Ronaldo being kind of true professional, you know, athlete, and that, you know, is a bit more kind of egotistical. Messi, a true introvert, and Ronaldo, the exact opposite, an extrovert. Okay, that is just the reality of both players, and that's what makes them such an interesting conversation, because they are very much two different people in terms of personality and what they do in the football pitch. They both do two different things, right? Ronaldo feels like he's been treated unfairly, probably because he's been so used to his entire life of 20 years or so being a top dog, being the guy which people have gone out of their way and doing absolutely anything for him, to change the system for him, to change the finances for him, to do absolutely everything that they can do to make sure Ronaldo is in the absolute top echelon of every hierarchy that he's ever been in. Top dog, Ronaldo, first name on team sheet, Ronaldo, for the last 20 years, right? And now he isn't, and it feels like he's been treated unfairly, I believe, because he still feels like he still is that guy. He still feels like he is still that top level man that can perform at the highest levels week in, week out. He still feels like he is that guy, and because other people don't think that anymore, for reasons that could be true or reasons that could be false, that is your own decision. I personally believe that he is a player which you need a certain system around, which you can get top level performances out of him, but you need to change the system to get him done, and that can harm other players in the team. And it all depends on the right team that is willing to potentially risk the development of other players, and to maybe, you know, kind of take the limelight of other players, to have it all Ronaldo, and it's all about taking that risk on, is he the man to take them forward and, you know, into the future, because he is old. Because he is old in terms of football. He's 37. He's not got usually many years left. I still think Ronaldo will still be playing football until he's 45. I think he wants to play football to a top pro level until he physically cannot do it anymore, and his doctor would say stop. I can see Ronaldo playing until he's 50, okay, if it's over in Dubai somewhere in the Qatari leagues, or playing in the MLS or something. Okay, he could play somewhere in Europe in Portuguese leagues for a year or two in the age of lower 40s. I can see that happening, because he wants to break every single record that is possible to break in world football. If it's more goals scored in Champions League, everything. I believe he wants to be seen as statistically the best footballer to ever live. That is what I believe Ronaldo's all about. The stats, the honour, the greatness in terms of statistically, on paper, in black and white, he is the best at scoring goals. He's got the most goals scored, and he wants that. And he wants to exceed all records so far that no one can ever beat him. That's what I believe Ronaldo wants. And that is why I believe he's hitting out in the way that he does, because he feels like that his legacy is being tainted and his legacy is being harmed, because that is what I believe he's all about, his legacy. And that is why I believe that he's taking matters into his own hands to do this interview. That he knows that he has to go at any cost. It doesn't matter. It's at the World Cup now, so he's going to be playing some football, and then he's going to hopefully have a good World Cup. A team will want him. He's going to go to that team. If it's Germany or France or Spain or Italy, anywhere, Portugal, Saudi Arabia, I don't think he cares at this stage. He wants to be playing football and he wants to break the records. And that is why I think he did the interview. Simple as that. Tell me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. And I'll see you then. Peace out.